This episode of Going Forward is brought to you by Optmyzr, an award-winning PPC management tool used by advertisers worldwide. Save time and boost the performance of your PPC campaigns on Facebook, Amazon, and Google or Microsoft. Get a 14-day free trial at optmyzr.com/go/VIP. I'm excited. Wayne, we talked right before this, man, and I'm pumped up to really introduce you to everyone and let them know about you, man. You got something so interesting, man. Folks, everyone who's out there listening to the Going Forward podcast, I have the CEO and founder of MelodyClouds, Mr. Wayne Altman, with me today, and we're going to talk about some important stuff like, getting yourself together, as far as getting enough sleep. We're going to talk about a disease. Is it a disease, Wayne?
It's an injury more than a disease, but yeah.
Injury that I've never freaking heard of before. And Wayne, the way you broke it down, man, I really want people to hear about it and how you came up with a solution. For those people joining on, I'm so impressed with what Wayne's done. And first off, salute to Wayne. He's an Army veteran. He served our country well. He has created MelodyClouds, and in less than 2 years, he has MelodyClouds in over 100 countries. If that's not telling you enough, then I'm going to let the man himself go ahead and introduce himself. Wayne, say hello to everyone out there, man, and on our podcast, buddy.
Eric, it is really good to speak to you, and I've totally enjoyed having a conversation with you. You
too, man. So, for these folks, they may hear MelodyClouds. They may not know, is it music? What is MelodyClouds? Wayne, I want you to, tell us what MelodyClouds is and exactly tell me your story on how you came up with MelodyClouds. I think it's really fascinating, man.
So MelodyClouds is a relaxation app that came really out of necessity for me. We have 18,000 audiobooks, 8,000 hours of binaural beats, which we'll want to talk about.
Damn.
Aesop's Fables, read by a Hall of Fame winning, he's in the Radio Hall of Fame disc jockey, very good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Lullabies for babies that are designed a specific way to put your baby to sleep and keep them to sleep, and nature sounds. Probably 30 right now, about 35 different nature environments. If that's your gig, that's how you get to sleep. That's what I'm about.
That's how I sleep, man. I put on sounds of the ocean.
Yes. There's ocean, me out, man. Weather. Yeah. So that's what MelodyClouds. It started off. Let's talk about how it started.
All right, let's do that.
I have an injury. We were just talking about it, called tinnitus. Some people call it tinnitus. I once had someone interviewing me called it tendinitis, and I was like, there's nothing wrong with my joint. Anyway, so it's a ringing in the ear, and a lot of people suffer from it. I mean, you hear it everywhere now. Basically, what you've done is you have injured your auditory nerve, and that residual injury, that tone that you hear, whether it's a whooshing, whether it's a kind of wet dripping, whether it's a pinging, it's how you injured that auditory nerve. There's no cure for it, and there's very few treatments that actually do have any kind of benefit.
Okay.
All right. So I got mine from serving in the Army. Okay. Listening to a lot of loud explosions and gunfire. And so I would tell everyone listening, guard your hearing jealously, because it's very annoying. All right. So I go to a friend's house. We're having a couple drinks, and he says, "Hey, Wayne, you have tinnitus." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I want you to listen to something." So I was like, "Okay." So he puts a set of headphones on me, and he plays for me the crunchiest woo-woo track of music that the guy could dig out of a closet. I mean, it was, anyone that knows me knows that's not what I'm listening to.
Right.
And it did nothing. And so I looked at him like, what is this supposed to do, aside from annoying me? He plays, okay, don't worry about it. He plays me a second track of music. Again, better music, just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Eric, That third track of music that he played changed my life in a number of ways. For the first time in 30 years, I heard silence. I didn't hear the ringing in my ear. I get goosebumps even talking about it. I talked about this with you 5 minutes ago, and it still brings out emotion in me.
So this song he's playing, it's let's just picture it like it's something loud, a lot of instruments banging, clanging.
Right.
And you heard silence.
Actually, it wasn't the music, it was the frequency that was played over the top of the music. So 432 hertz, actually, in this case, it was 174. So 174 hertz was played in the music, totally inaudible. You and I would not hear it, but it was played in this music, and the only thing I heard was the music. I did not hear this sound going on in my head right now. This gets so bad for people. And I don't want to, tell stories out of church, but this gets so bad for people. The former CEO of Texas Roadhouse Restaurants took his life and mentioned the tinnitus in that note that he left.
Wow.
That's how bad this gets for people. Now, not everybody suffers from it in a major way like that. Some people, it's just very annoying, and it takes, going into a very quiet room to even hear it. But you're like me. You and I are having a conversation. I talk very loud, number one, because I don't hear very well, and number two, because I'm trying to speak over the tinnitus.
Wow. So, like, Wayne, does that make it difficult for you to, like, let's just say if you're engaging in a conversation with someone right in front of you, does that make it difficult for you?
Yes. It makes it difficult for them more than it does for me, because I'm practically yelling at everybody. My wife, I am so shocked that my beautiful wife married me, because I practically scream everything at people. Not really. I mean, I can kind of pull it back, but if I get excited about something, because I don't hear it. I don't hear it I don't speak at the same level. You can't take me to the library. Thank God we have the internet now, because you can't take me to the library.
So Wayne, I mean, this, like you said, you heard explosions and everything else, in your younger years. But I mean, let's talk now, because there might be some people who, like, former military people, kids with autism,
Eric,
Dennis, all these different people,
construction workers, musicians. I mean, anyone listening to music. You and I were in the same. You and I were, you were 17 once.
Wow.
Your music with the earphones in. And
loud music.
100%. So, I would tell you, guard your hearing jealously. If you see your children walking around with those earpods, the AirPods in all the time, you need to check the volume. You need to make sure that they're listening to it at an appropriate level, because that's going directly into that ear canal, directly onto that auditory nerve.
Get out of here.
Soon, you're going to end up with a problem.
So, Wayne, tell me about, like, okay, you got this ringing going on. Sometimes it's difficult, like you said, for other people to be able to have a conversation, with you. So now, how do you find peace with that constantly going? I mean, does your mind constantly keep running? How do you find peace, man?
Now I have frequencies that will drown that out, that will allow me to, snatch that peace, right?
Okay.
I also suffer from a condition at night called mind racing, right? I'll be exhausted. My 55-year-old body will just be exhausted from the day.
Right.
I will lay in bed, and my brain is still 5 years old. It is thinking about what people said earlier today, what I got to do tomorrow, 5 years from now, what do I plan on doing? Okay, my mind will absolutely race through these thoughts.
Right.
Okay, so I did a little bit of research, and I came up with 432 hertz. For me, 432 hertz is more powerful than a Mike Tyson overhand right.
Man.
It puts me to sleep.
So I mean, tell me, like, I told you about how I am. I listen to, like, the ocean sounds to be able to put myself down. What is that like for you? For someone who's constantly hearing something in their head, what's that like for you?
Yeah, it is very distracting. it is very hard to focus. Very hard to focus. And there are binaural beats for focus. So when I'm at work, when I'm really trying to get in, you've heard someone say he's in the zone, she's in the zone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. It turns out the zone is a place. It's an actual place. Your brain is operating at a particular frequency that is making everything seem very insular, concentrated, very
focused.
Very focused. There you go. And once you find out what frequency that is for you, you can bring yourself to the zone anytime you want. I use it when my daughters play volleyball. I use it. They get into the zone and they play much better. When I wanted to work during the day and I really need to focus on a task, I pick up my phone. There's a free app on there, MelodyClouds. I hit the play button and I immediately start focusing in on the tasks that I need to complete. So it is a real, I use it all the time. I use my own, and it's fantastic for me.
So you mentioned binaural beats earlier. Like, explain to everyone like what binaural beats are.
Yeah,
because I never heard of it until now, until you and I started talking.
Yeah. So your brain is an electrical appliance. Every thought, every emotion, every direction your brain gives is done in an electrical impulse. Those impulses can be measured.
Okay.
You put an EEG and it will give you what frequency that particular whatever is, right? Okay. So binaural beat takes one frequency in one ear, one frequency in another ear. Your brain doesn't listen to both frequencies. It chooses to split the difference and start communicating in a different third frequency. So you've taken your brain and said, no, I want you to operate in this frequency. It is the reason that music and, your emotions, different music, this is the reason that you feel differently about different tracks of music. Or if you walk into a church, if you walk into a Southern Baptist church singing praise music,
I know all about that.
I was just going to say, you immediately, your hands go above your head. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. None of that matters. You know, we're here to pray. But if you go across the street, say to a Catholic church, big stone building, they're singing or they're playing an organ, your attitude immediately goes to reverence. There are 17 movies in the history of movie making that do not have a soundtrack for a reason. That music that they play during movies, it is to tell you how to feel about what you're seeing on the screen.
Wow. Never thought of that before.
No TV show goes without a soundtrack. No movie. You can't even go grocery shopping or go to the mall without hearing music that is designed to keep you there.
So let's just say, like, for MelodyClouds, if someone doesn't have tinnitus, someone like me or anyone else out there, they could use something like this to kind of tune themselves in, find their own zone, and kind of people realign themselves.
That's exactly what, 100%. That is what it is designed to do. We have hundreds and hundreds of tracks of music for whatever. And listen, some people's brains operate in certain frequencies, right? A list of frequencies. Right. This is what convinced me this was actually real. The first two tracks of music he played didn't work. Now, when I go to the doctor and he prescribes medication to me, Eric, and it doesn't work, it doesn't have the intended effects, what does he do? Does he just give up? No. He gives me a second prescription. He says, hey, try this prescription. Try this dosage. It's the same thing.
Wow.
That's what convinced me that this was actually real. Because if it had worked every time, I could have thought, okay, well, it's a trick or whatever. It's just, I could have used anything. No. This is actually a thing. Matter of fact, In the early 70s, the United States military used these frequencies and other frequencies to try to find frequencies that would terrify enemies and prevent battle.
Like a sonar almost, or
similar to, like playing music on a loudspeaker, or if they wanted to negotiate with terrorists, they blast music, right? And that music, it carries with it binaural beats to make them more willing to negotiate. 100% science behind this.
Like orchestra music or strings, it's made to slow you down, get your emotion
keep you
going.
Awake.
Wow. So how can you use like binaural beats or even MelodyClouds to be able to enhance your life and do better? So what are some ways that people can use it?
Well, we talked about that a little bit. I mean, look, I use it when I go to sleep. A lot of times I'm fine. I can go to sleep and it's no problem. But those nights when I'm really excited about something, or I got something coming up, right? And but I need to get to sleep. Okay.
Oh, it's important.
Put my phone.
Sleep's important.
Right. Look, but I am at a point now where I can hear my brain senses the binaural beats without the headphones. Normally, when people start out, they use soft headphones. When they want to get to sleep, they put soft headphones on and they listen to a binaural beat, right? And they go right to sleep and they find their music that helps them relax. Okay. I have gotten to a point now where I can listen to it. If I need to focus, I can turn my phone on right next to me and I don't need to put headphones on in order to get the benefit.
Got it.
Well, I know that it is possible. A lot of people, though, sometimes need some help training their brain to actually hear that and suss out the frequencies, right?
Does it normally take people a few times before they kind of really get it?
Well, you're going to know immediately whether that frequency worked for you. That's the good news. Now, it may take blocking out all the other sounds in order for you to really feel that effect. That's true. I mean, I have a lot of people that write me and email. My email box is in every language. I've had to translate, complimentary emails. I know it's good because there's a lot of exclamation points in it, but I'm like, man, I got to hear this. It's written in acrylic. I gotta find out what this guy said. Is he mad at me? But you get a chance to really figure this out on your own. With MelodyClouds, I priced it in a way where, I'm not trying to get rich on anybody. There are a couple things that we'll go over this real quick. Okay. There are a few things that I absolutely can't stand. I'm 55. I'm kind of grumpy. Number one, subscriptions that I cannot unsubscribe for.
Right.
Oh,
I'm with you, man.
Okay. Well, guess what? That's why I'm your Huckleberry. Okay. Because in my app, there is the largest button in my app is a big red unsubscribe button. You have no trouble finding it. If you don't want to be subscribed to MelodyClouds, one button click. That's it.
Wow.
All right. So that's number one. Number two, people selling my information. I do not like it when people vacuum up my information about me and then sell it to other people. Okay. So what did I do? I went in and I blocked all third party. No third party gets your information when you're dealing with MelodyClouds, and we don't sell your information to others. So if you go to the app on the app store,
very good,
tells you in big bold letters, this fool does not collect anybody's information. Don't ask him for it. Okay. And the third thing is, look, I wanted to make this available to everyone, everywhere.
Right.
I do not believe my competitors are charging 6 and 7 times what I charge and have less content. And that irritates me. It really upsets me that I'm the no-name peanut butter. You know what I mean?
Talking about the content you mentioned earlier, there's like 18,000 binary books there.
Yeah, there's 18,000 audiobooks, right? There's Aesop's Fables, which I am insanely proud of dear friend of mine, Gary Meyer, he's in the Radio Hall of Fame, and he reads these stories to kids, and he's fantastic at it. I listen to those probably as much as anything else on that, and I've heard them 100 times. Lullabies. We have 800 lullabies on the app, cut in 5 and 10 hour sections. Now, people ask me, why did you cut these lullabies so long? It's very simple. The first skill we learn as human beings is the art of self-soothing, being able to get ourselves back to sleep. So
that's why babies suck their thumbs.
Yes, they're trying to soothe themselves, right? Okay, so you put your precious bundle of joy down for the night. Normally, they'll be up 2, 3, 4 times in the night. If you put that baby down with, and there's no binaural beats in this, just a natural lullaby, just a normal lullaby. They'll wake up in the middle of the night, but they'll hear the same music playing. They're warm, they're safe, they're dry, and and go right back to sleep. And they learn that skill, their first skill, very, very quickly. And I have new parents contact me more than anything else right now, telling me this worked. Oh my God, you saved our marriage. You saved my, dang, you had this baby and it was tearing it up. It was tearing it up because every night it was wide awake. Okay. We have right now 35 nature sounds, environments for people to, because look, a lot of people are like you. They like just relaxing in a brook or a stream or at the ocean. I even have people that ask me for city sounds.
Really?
Yes. This dude contacts me and says, hey, I'm stuck out in the country. I'm from New York. I like hearing construction noises. What can you do? You got me? And immediately I went out and bought a whole collection of construction sounds where people get, if that's your thing, a lot of people cannot go to sleep without hearing jackhammers and people yelling and stuff.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah, we're all individuals. And then the binaural beats, we have 8,000 hours of binaural beats. And they're arranged. Each one of the icons is award-winning art. My app is the prettiest thing in your pocket. I thought about that being the tagline. It is absolutely stunning.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy when I'm scrolling through, because just some of the art in it is, I picked it. So, I
want you to know that you turned something that was a negative that happened to you into a positive for others.
I definitely am working on that feverishly.
And being able to do something like that and affect over 100 countries, what was the dream that made you say, I want to create this? What was that dream like, to just say, I want to create this? Because truthfully, you could have just dealt with your situation and selfishly and just said, you know what, this is just what I have. I'm going to deal with it for me. But now you're making a solution for others. So what was the thing that inspired you to do that?
I'm going to give you some, I'm not that. That's not me. So I could not do that. If I watch a good movie, you're going to hear about it. If I've eaten a good meal, and I eat a lot of good meals, if I eat it, I'm going to tell you, hey, Eric, come here. We're going to eat over here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those guys, you know what I mean? If I find something good, now with MelodyClouds, it took me 4 days. 4 days. I bought the domain and had a website up, and I had started purchasing binaural beats and the music and the audiobooks and stuff to go on there. And the reason it's funny, the reason it took me 4 days is because I underestimated how hard it would be to name this.
Wow.
It was excruciating in my house to be in my house for 4 days until we finally settled on MelodyClouds. Even MelodyClouds is kind of an awkward name. Look, I love it, but it's kind of an awkward name.
It has some tranquility to it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's grown on me. But at the time, even I was like, what? And right. I like the logo. I mean, we're good, but it took me a minute, and it took thousands of domains, thousands of me trying to find a domain that I could purchase and B, and really, that's the least of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should have been just, chill. It was not. That was probably one of the hardest parts of putting all of this together.
I want us to take a break, and I want to come back and I want to talk about like how MelodyClouds helps with meditation and your mental health, and how that can be a benefit for people. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back with an episode of Going Forward. Hey, it's Eric here from VIP Marketing, and I want to ask you, digital marketers, something. Are you frustrated with your current PPC marketing campaigns? Well, I want to tell you about a tool that we use here at our agency. It's called Optmyzr. You have the ability to get your reports up to date and make sure that you get alerts on them. You can even work into workflows as well. So if you're frustrated with your campaigns right now in the reporting systems that you use, I want to give you a 14-day free trial of Optmyzr. Go to optmyzr.com/go/VIP.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hov, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes by the OZ. I guess even back then you can call me CEO of the ROC. Ho, fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I be the music biz #1 supplier. Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name. Got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain. That's right.
Man, welcome back. Wayne, I saw you say, wow, what happened?
I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed watching you. That was awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Wayne, I'm big on meditation. I try to make sure I do it every day. And you know what my wife says to me? She's like, I can tell if you don't meditate, right?
Yeah.
And I know that, people, they use MelodyClouds to possibly meditate as well. And I want you to tell me, like, have you ever seen some folks do better mentally, or even reach out to you and say, just thank you, this has helped me, and how has it helped them?
Yeah, we have probably 800 hours of guided meditations on MelodyClouds right now, and we're constantly adding more. I'm trying to work out a deal with a very good friend of mine who that's his jam. That he's really good about getting people to the the place they need to be as far as meditation goes, and changing habits. We want to do some self-hypnosis, but guided meditations. That we have a lot of guided meditations there now, and we are constantly adding more. It is important. It is important to center yourself, to kind of relax, and to kind of unwind and kind of get in your head and figure out, all right, here's where my wins were, here's where my losses, and let's clean some things up. I thought it was important at the very beginning, and we still believe that it's extremely important.
Well, what would you like to see happen with MelodyClouds in the future, Wayne?
We're realizing it. I mean, I every single day I jump out of bed, and it's very difficult for a 55-year-old who's done that. I mean, I was a bull rider. I mean, I don't jump anywhere, but I get out of bed, slowly. Oh, you got me. I get out of bed slowly, and I start thinking, look, what can we do today that is going to move us one step closer? And one of the smartest things we ever did, I'll be honest with you, is the guys over at Podcast Cola. We partnered with Podcast Cola, Shaheen, Marilyn, Diana, all the girl, Nancy. They really blew us up to where we are. I cannot thank them enough.
Wow. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah. great group.
Wayne, I think I know you're very you've been very modest, but I really think you've done a great thing by creating this, because this is really a selfless thing. And like you said, you're not trying to just knock people over the head and just make a ton of money. I think this is a healing for so many people. I think beyond what we probably even know on this call right now.
Yeah.
This is a healing for a lot of people. How important, is sleep for people? How important is sleep? We talked about that like right before we got in. I told you last week we had someone on talking about, how leaders kind of shortchange themselves with sleep. But I mean, how does this help you realize like, oh man, sleep's important? This really helps people.
Anybody that has been around, and that's every single one of us, we've been around people that are operating on no sleep. I mean, you think about it, you're about to go under in surgery, and you want to make sure that surgeon has had the proper amount of sleep.
Absolutely.
It's as bad as being intoxicated, when you're driving, or it's as bad as, look, we cannot operate without those chemical processes going on in our bodies and in our brains. Okay. And getting the proper amount of sleep, anyone on the planet, whether you've had a small baby and that's what's kept you awake, or whether it's finals that you've been studying for, or maybe you've overindulged in social media and you're up all night watching Reddit videos, whatever, you know how you function the next day.
Yeah.
And over time, there is a real opportunity for you to catch mental illnesses and to be depressed and to be, because your body just, it lacks this clearance of these, you need sleep. I mean, you got to get sleep in order to get rid of a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's critical, especially the older you get too. I mean, look, when you're 5, the nap is a 4-letter word. Okay. I mean, but when you are 55, that nap looking good, dude. Which, I mean, you're in the middle of the day and you think, right, oh man, siesta, that is such a beautiful word.
Yeah.
Let's lay down and take a nap for 5 or 6 hours.
Right. Oh man.
It's just a fact of life.
Wayne, as we wrap up the show, I want you to kind of tell people, how do they find you? How do they reach out to you? I want you to, talk to that audience, because I really want them to experience that app. And also you give them a trial, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. So right now we're doing $2.99 per month for the first 2 months. So you get a chance to try this on and see if it isn't of some benefit to you. Now, I will say this, and this without bragging, and anybody that's interested, I'll prove it to you. In the year that MelodyClouds has been active, we have had 2 people cancel memberships on MelodyClouds. 2 people.
Wow.
And the reason they canceled the membership, because they accidentally doubled. They accidentally bought 2 memberships. Now, that is amazing to me.
That's
I wouldn't say it. I'm saying it publicly. Bring it, you guys. I'm happy to show you. Okay?
Wow.
It's $5.99, Eric.
Man, that's worth it. $5.99.
$5.99. I mean, you throw away because I am of the belief that I can help people, and all I want to do is, I'm not trying to get rich on individuals. Do the math, and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I make plenty. I'll do just fine. Don't worry about me. I don't need $30 a month from someone for a service like this.
Got it.
I just don't. And it kind of is offensive to me that someone would charge you $400 for a $50 pair of shoes. That's just it's the way it is.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens.
Yes, it does. And I just find, look, I don't think that that's the right thing to do. Now, we also have right now going on a $59.99 year membership, and $299 is for the lifetime membership. So I've had 3 people convert their monthly memberships into lifetime memberships. We're trying to, that is a vote of confidence. I mean,
that is worth
I have to say, I only made it just because there's some people that hate subscriptions.
And you have 3 different types of subscriptions. You have it's called improve the mood, sharper focus, and sleep deeper.
Yeah. Now, I want to make it very clear. They all 3 have access to all of the same music, but they forced me to name these different different products differently. Okay. I panicked, man. I was like, what am I doing? MelodyClouds is MelodyClouds, whether you subscribe monthly or whether you subscribe once, in your lifetime. So it's the same app. And by the way, we are on the iOS, so Apple and Android. The apps are free. Hey, Apple, I said it again. The apps are free. So if you subscribe to MelodyClouds, the app on your phone and the app on the computer, that I'm not charging anybody for that.
Can people, let's just say if they're at the computer, at their desktop listening, can they use MelodyClouds from there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's a very cool experience. There's a player built into the website, and you can listen to any track on PC, and hundreds of people are doing that as we speak. I'm actually watching the numbers right now.
That's good. That's really cool stuff.
Wayne, you build something like this, and you know this. You build something like this, it really gives you great joy to see people enjoy it, use it themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like cooking a big meal. If nobody's, people are pushing the food around on their plate. That's a real, that's not good. I like seeing people shoving that food in their face and, right? That's what and this is what I'm watching right now. I'm watching people just shoving these, binaural beats in their ears. And it's amazing.
Wayne, go ahead and give everyone the social media handles and also the website address so that they can find you and connect with you possibly as well.
You can find us at MelodyClouds.com. My email address is on there, Wayne Altman at MelodyClouds. I answer all of the, mail, which is, that's a full day's work right there. My phone, my personal cell phone, it's hilarious. People, look, what are you doing? I have my cell. I talk to people all day. Hey, man, you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. This is a real thing, okay? And so you got to be responsible. I'm the guy. Eric, I had a woman 3 days ago call. I pick up the phone, and she is like, Wayne? And I was like, yeah, this Wayne. And
she was shocked. She was shocked.
Blown away. She was absolutely blown away that the CEO of she was talking to the guy that she heard on the podcast or heard, she couldn't believe it. I'm like, who else would you talk to?
Right.
Anyway, so that's, look, we're social media, we're on Facebook, we're on X, or Twitter. So you can, look, you can't miss me.
I am going to make sure that, you and I stay in contact with one another here, man. And I first off, before we end, I want to tell you, thank you for your service to our country. Again, it means a whole lot, man, for everything that you've done and gone through for us, and also sacrifices your family made for us. It means a lot. Good luck to your daughter out there in college. You just dropped your daughter off too?
Ray, in Iowa. Ray's playing volleyball in Iowa. Go Ray.
And Wayne is girl dad, by the way. If you can't tell, he's a girl dad. So, Wayne, I want to thank you for being a great guest. Thank you for being on the Going Forward podcast. Everybody out there, man, I want you to just listen in to what Wayne had to say. I mean, there's a lot that can be done for you, man. If you are having trouble going to sleep or just focusing, just give MelodyClouds. Just give them a try and see how that is for you. I want to appreciate you guys for giving us your most valuable asset, which is your time, regardless of how much money it is the one thing you can never buy back. So thank you. And this is Going Forward. I want to thank you all for giving us your most valuable asset, your time. And also a huge thank you to our sponsors over at Optmyzr. For all of you who are running PPC campaigns and you want to see how to do it better and get better results and actually boost the performance of your campaigns and save time, get a free trial at optmyzr.com/go/VIP.